By the time I was taken off, I was like throwing up.
Oh
Like
my
the
God.
full hangover had
The sweat's
activated.
coming out
Oh,
like,
I
hey.
was like, do you have a gun?
Also, a lot of Americans, they always say, yeah, we're going to London. And then they don't even go to London.
Okay,
They go to
so
like...
that was me.
Hey guys, welcome back to Full Coverage, your favorite podcast with your hosts, Manny MUA and...
Laura Lee.
And we have a very special guest today.
Ooh.
We have Mitchell. Mitchell.
What the hell?
Mitchell.
This is so weird.
Wait, so why is it weird to you?
Again, I feel like when I first came into like the industry, especially like the American scene, I obviously came into it with just whoever came into it with. And I feel like it's just really full circle because I feel like I never really got to get to know you guys as much as what I probably really wanted to at the time because I've been watching you guys since the start. So but also like the fact that I'm just here, I'm like, what the hell is going on?
And you listened to Full Coverage before?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Okay.
All the time. I love full coverage. And again,
He's like, no,
first
never
of all,
won.
the name is so genius.
Oh, thank you.
So genius.
The name, we get a lot of compliments on the name.
We do.
Like the name is
That's
like, people
one
are
of
like,
the only
wow.
good things we've ever.
that's the one we've never got any backlash on.
Yeah, that's the one thing we did right.
Coverage.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It really is. But thank you so much for having me.
Oh my
this
God.
is such an
we're
honor
so
to be
happy
here.
to have you.
And to spend time with you and yeah,
Oh my
really
God.
cool.
Because I feel like
Lovely.
I've known you for a long time, but I haven't like really
Yeah.
got to know you for
That's
a long
what I mean.
like,
Well,
ever.
I feel like I know you guys because I've watched you on you. But I never really did YouTube, so I've never really like
Oh, that's right.
told like a
your
story in a
stories.
way, you know, in that kind of sense. But I've obviously watched you guys since the start, so it's just really cool to be here. Sometimes I'm like I always say in life, obviously you can have so many successes, but to me like a true success is just spending time with people that you've looked up to. Like it's so cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Because especially when you are from the UK as well, and almost sometimes you feel like certain people are untouchable, or then when you're like, oh my God, I'm sat in a room with Laura and Manny right now. What is happening?
and it's just very chill.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
really
I feel
chill.
like we are actually extremely chill.
We
And
like
people
to
meet us-
believe that.
We love to believe that we're like the most chill, like down to
I
earth.
feel like everyone says that.
Yeah,
100%.
they do.
And then they
I
made us
probably
we're
say that as
manic.
well.
And I'm like, bitch, you're crazy, actually.
We're manic. We're like
very
literally.
chill.
So we like to start the podcast with like peaks and pits. Like that's obviously something we
I
always
know,
do.
I know.
You're like, baby,
Honey,
I
she's
got
I've
it.
watched this
ready.
before.
That's right.
So you have to tell us like what is your peak of the week?
My peak of the week. I'd probably say this is my peak of the week. I don't mean to sound cheesy. Maybe I'll give you 2 peaks just in
Yeah,
case you think
give
I'm
us
being.
2, but that's
just
really
in case
sweet.
you think I'm
We
looking ass.
appreciate it. No, we'll take it.
No, we love it.
We'll take it.
I'd say this is one of my peaks. Again, it's just like something that I never really thought would happen, but I've always thought, oh my God, I'd love to.
Oh shit.
Okay, Project
And that's
Runway.
my
Oh,
pick.
wait.
Ty, we got Project Runway on the
Project
TV.
Runway.
We love
Runway is
Project
playing.
Runway.
We're going to watch a quick episode of Project Runway. We'll be
This
right
is a
back
review.
after
Wait.
this.
This is a review of this episode. Okay, I think my second peak of the week, we went to Joshua Tree this weekend and we shot our 4th birthday campaign, which was so cool because I mean, I'm sure you guys know, like when you first started your brands, like budget for photo shoots and stuff like that is just it's so crazy, especially out here.
Trying to find the budget.
Yeah.
You're
I
like,
was
my
like,
God.
I'd reached out to a few people out here to for equipment and all this kind of stuff because we do things so makeshift. And I think that's when it's the most magical sometimes because
Yeah.
it's just you just make it
Yeah.
happen. But when I got the quotes back, I was like, what?
the quotes here.
Like it's insane and it's
Crazy.
it's expensive at anywhere you go, but out here I was like, this is ridiculous. Anyway, I said no, I'll do it myself. But yeah, that was my my 2 peaks.
How
Again,
was like the Joshua trip? Like, because
Yeah.
have you
Have
been
you ever
before?
been?
No, so I went once, but I think I was drunk the entire time. So I
Absolutely.
absolutely can't.
Don't remember a word.
It was
Joshua
just
Tree
before.
culture is like go out there and
Yeah.
do
Mushrooms.
experiment.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually was speaking to someone and they were saying it's my favorite place to do mushrooms. And I was like, oh God, I don't have any. But yeah, it was great. It was such a amazing place to take the team to as well. Because again, as a small brand that is still so early on in the journey, like I'm bringing my team here that
How
have
big's your
never even
team?
been here. Well, there's 4 of us here right now, but I think there's
Yeah.
maybe like 15 of us now
Okay.
on the team.
Yeah.
So still very, very small. And everyone has about 10 different roles.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
how it is when you're a small brand.
Absolutely.
Everyone has a lot of hats.
But I kind of love it that way as well. Don't get me wrong. There's some days where I'm like, I'd love 100 more staff.
Oh my gosh,
But
yes.
it's finding, and again, you guys will know that, but it's finding the right people for the right roles, isn't it? And that's not easy because what might work for one brand might not work for my brand.
Right.
So it's finding the right people. But yeah, my peak is definitely being here and obviously going to Joshua Tree with the team. It was so cool. Again, I think moments like that, spending time, like what I was talking about before, when you spend time with certain people and you're in a new environment, it's just like, oh my God, wow, we really did that. You know? So yeah, I think that was my 2 peaks.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that.
And it's bonding.
Yes,
like
exactly.
it's nice. Like when I feel like when you're traveling with your team and you're doing things like that, it's like such a bonding experience where it's like you get to know each other more, figure things out more. Like I feel like every time we travel, I'm like I get to know her more.
Another
It's
layer.
kind of like
Another
you
layer.
live with each other during that time. Don't we? So yeah, it's been really cool. It's been we got here Friday. Today is
How's
Tuesday.
the jet
Tuesday.
lag? You're like doing great. You seem great.
The jet lag.
I was like, you seem so fine. I'm like,
I don't want to talk about
I like need an IV. Like I would be like in a
Yeah.
no, I'm
hospital
like, I feel
bed right
comatose,
now.
bro.
To be fair, I
Girl.
actually would love an IV, but I think I actually enjoy it because I wake up so early.
Okay.
I'm on obviously UK time.
Yeah.
And I get so much done, and then by the time my day actually starts, I'm like, oh, I've done all my work for today.
You're like, I'm
So,
good, actually. Thank
yeah,
you.
it's been actually quite it was probably good that we did the shoot the weekend just gone because the days were so long, so it kind of married up. But I feel like I'm starting to sleep in a little bit later now, so
There we go.
I'm kind of adjusting.
You're adjusting.
There you go, you get
How
it.
long
It
are you
takes a
here?
while.
Are you here for a long
We're
time?
here till I'm here till Monday, and then I fly to Chicago on Monday,
Ooh.
literally for the day. 2 days, and then I fly back to the UK.
So it's like a week and a half. You're here.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I've not been to LA since.
I was going to ask
May
you,
last
how often
year.
do you come here?
Well, I used to. Before COVID, I was about to move here, had my visa ready to go, and then obviously
Wow.
COVID
yes,
happened.
yes.
And then obviously life changed for everyone, didn't
Yeah.
it? And I think
That's
since then I've
crazy.
maybe been back twice before this.
Do you like it or are you like,
I think it's different now.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't know if it's maybe
It
because I'm
is.
older now, whereas then I was
It's a
just like running
mixture.
around like a little twink around LA. Just living there.
He was a little twink running. I remember that. He was a
I
little
was
twink
like
running
this
around.
big. Yeah, I think I was just so like fascinated by the whole lifestyle, the whole facade of it. But then I remember when I came back for, it was just before Coachella, maybe 2 years ago. And we'd done like an event. Where did we do the event? We did the event at the PLT headquarters on Melrose. And I just got a really different vibe from LA then. Then I came back last year. I came with my ex last year. We went to Vegas, we watched Adele, which was amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
But again, every time I've been, I've really enjoyed this time being here because
Yeah.
I'm here with my friends, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's just I feel like it's just a completely different place to what it was back then. Completely different.
Yeah.
Even like the nightlife
The
is different.
industry's changed
Yes,
too, you know
absolutely,
what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of changes. But I think it's again, everything changes, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Nothing stays the same forever.
So true.
100%.
Yeah,
So
Couldn't
true.
agree more.
maybe it's a good thing. you know?
Honestly.
Honestly.
Yeah.
My peak, you know, we just went to a Halloween party the other day, and I thought that was really fun. I would say that's my peak. We went to Sam and Colby's Halloween party, and it ended up being like a huge
Wait, tell them who
Wait.
came out.
Wait, I think I saw the. Wait, what?
Soldier Boy ended up coming out to perform, and
That
we were
is not the
literally
person I
no,
was
we
ever
literally were
expecting.
like,
Where was this?
it was like at a warehouse. It was at, and this
Oh,
was
wow.
literally just
And
over
they,
the
like,
weekend on Sunday.
400 people.
Wait, I have a question. Who the hell was that guy in that video? When
The
you went
rap
to watch
video?
Charlie X, yeah.
Everyone,
Because I
That's
know
what
everyone was
everyone-
asking for it.
everyone's
And I
asking
thought,
that.
this is my chance to ask for the
No,
people.
but
You are
literally,
welcome.
Yeah,
You are
it's
welcome.
literally like a stranger. Like I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that he literally.
We
I didn't
love the
know the guy.
gays.
No,
Yeah.
literally. Other than literally, I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, do you have a boyfriend?" He said no, and I was like, "Can I make out with you?" I swear, that's literally what it was. I was like, and I'm gonna record it. Too.
Oh, okay, I
So
love
that's
this.
like how it went. It
That's
was
the
literally.
most LA thing that's ever
Yeah.
happened.
Literally the epitome of like LA. I was like, listen, I have a scene in my mind that
Directing it. Laura's like,
I was like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
literally, I'm like this.
like-
I was literally like, I want to make out scene for this video, and that's what it was. So
And
it
the
literally was a
person you walked
stranger.
up to is fully understanding
And
and
he
knows
was like-
exactly what you want. That is
you,
so LA.
you picked the right person.
Yeah, you
I
did.
did. And he was looking at me, and I was looking at him. So I was like,
Yes.
this is perfect.
So good.
that's who it was.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, no, the party of the weekend, it was great. It was just like fun. Like it was such a crazy. It was a Y2K party.
Okay,
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like,
Which we
obviously,
didn't
like
even know.
we had no idea that it was a Y2K.
Did you post the outfit that you wore?
I was Prince Eric.
So
From Little
what does that
Mermaid.
relate
Little
to
Mermaid.
Y2K?
It's not. I had
Oh,
no
okay,
idea. We
so
had no
that's what
idea
you
it was
meant.
Y2K.
Was that
But
Prince
also,
Eric?
like, no one knew. I don't think anyone knew
No
that.
one knew.
Like, it
Although
wasn't.
my outfit was very millennial.
Honestly, it kinda
and
was,
kinda like,
Laura.
because I was Mia from Princess Diaries. So it was like like, that's very millennial of you. And I was like,
You're like,
careful.
Don't get crazy now. I'm Gen
Careful.
Z.
I see what you're doing here. Careful
Don't
with
get
that.
crazy
Not
now.
too much.
No, but honestly, Laura's outfit was a hit. Like,
My God.
everyone was like, I love you. I love your outfit. Like, it was sickening.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but
Thank
it was.
you.
Like, it literally, like, everyone was, like, obsessed.
I know. I didn't expect it because it was just like a
love
lot
that.
of people have been Princess Mia for Halloween. You know, it's not like an unheard of Halloween costume. So I was like, this will be really cute because Polly had these white princess dresses. And I was like, bitch, I'm going to be her because they're going to do the third movie. Genius.
Oh, they're doing a third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
People were coming up to me and they're like, where's the third movie?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, oh,
She
my
didn't even know.
costume. Yes.
Yeah, we start filming next week.
No, literally.
I was like,
They're like, Anne? She was saying that the way.
Yes. I was like, are we filming a movie?
Oh, what are you doing? I'm like,
I forgot, but it was so good. That was actually my pick. I had
No way.
proof. I had proof.
No
I wrote
way.
it down.
Oh, that's why Lava was on her phone. She was like, oh.
She's like, where's my
look,
fucking
I was
peak?
looking at my peak
That's
Halloween
literally-
party.
It's funny because that's like, we'll just combine it. Then literally, like, we'll do things like that where I'm like, oh my God, that was mine too.
Do you guys
We'll
get
get
really drunk
confused.
or no?
I don't drink.
You don't.
I-
Oh yeah, you don't drink, do you?
I do like 3 times a year. Like
Okay.
I'll do a
Fucked up.
blackout moment.
Okay, okay.
But like I'm so old and withered now.
By the way, guys, Lava looks absolutely
That
incredible.
is so
Like, I was like,
sweet. Thank you.
no, you look
Thank
amazing.
you. You're
She does
so
not look old and withered
sweet.
at all.
No, she doesn't.
It just
on the inside. You're like,
the inside's rotten. So then, like on the 4th of July, New Year's Eve, like these birthday moments, I'm getting lit as fuck.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? What
just
about
feel
you?
like the I love getting drunk.
yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
It gets me through
Yeah.
life. I need to get
Yeah.
drunk. But I also feel like the drinking culture is so different here to what it is in the UK.
I was saying,
Like,
UK is like huge, right? That's
especially
like,
northern
Oh.
UK people. Like if you're from up north, you basically have alcohol running through your bones.
Uh-huh.
That's just the way
Do you
it is.
get hungover? Or no.
I actually very rarely I get
See,
hungover.
I would drink more if I didn't get my ass kicked
Yeah.
the next morning.
I think I'm very good at just like
powering through.
if I sit here and think about how bad I feel, I'm gonna feel worse. So
you just go through.
yeah,
like,
I just go.
going.
But I do actually feel like I'm a pro at a hangover.
You know what helps me is when I day drink. When I day drink, I don't get hungover.
Yeah, because you've got more time to recover.
to,
what
and
it
to drink
is.
water and to
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
get like
eat
acclimated.
food.
Yeah. It is the worst though when you get like I don't mind a hangover. I don't mind feeling a little bit ropey the next day, but it's a 2-day hangover that is the worst.
And I'll
because
get
you feel
those.
like you feel like you've hacked it and you wake up the next day and I'm like, oh okay, but you're probably still drunk. And then the day after it's like
Oh my gosh, I didn't think about
Just
that. You wake up drunk.
heavy breathing all day.
Yep.
like-
Tired. Yep.
and then acting normal to people like
Uh-huh.
As
Like
if
you're
you're
not
not, like-
dying on the
Yeah,
inside.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's the almond scene
Yeah.
from Bridesmaids.
Exactly.
That I get the 2-dayers whenever I'll go to bed like 2-3 a.m. drunk. And then I am fucked. Like
yeah,
for the next
I always
2
try
days.
not to go to sleep when I'm drunk
See?
because then you wake up and you're still drunk.
You
and-
are, and it's a recipe for disaster. I did that in Paris. I had a flight, and I
Oh.
went out because the drinking culture in Europe in general,
It's
baby.
wild,
Yeah, that's
turn-
true.
I was thinking, do a quick little dinner.
They're
Cut
like,
to me at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Raging.
With a
Literally-
napkin.
Yeah,
And it's-
literally. That's what I was doing. That's what I was
I
doing.
see it. I visualized it. already.
Yep, you know, and I ended up puking all over the plane. Yeah. Woke up drunk. I was like, great, I'm still drunk. But the airport took me 3 hours to get through. So by the time
What,
I
Paris
got
was
to
like
the Paris airport,
God,
pits
awful.
of hell,
Yeah,
pits
it
of hell.
is.
And by the time I was taking off, I was like throwing up. Like
my
the
God.
full hangover had
The sweats
activated.
are coming out like,
Full sweat. Me.
like shaking. Just I'm like, I'm okay.
I was like, do you have a gun?
I need to buy a gun.
I need to wake up.
Me.
I don't think they sell them in
So
France.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
No.
thank God you couldn't buy one.
yeah,
would've
right,
been bad.
right. They're not
Yeah.
loosey goosey with that over
Oh
there.
my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine a 2-day hangover. Like, that
Oh my
really
God.
sounds
Honestly,
like hell.
I had one of the funnest nights of my life that night. So like,
Sounds worth
I
it.
low key don't regret it.
No, absolutely,
Yeah,
that's
sometimes
worth
it's worth it. I feel like when you've got a hangover and it's not worth it,
for
then
the
you're like,
memes.
why have I done this to myself?
That.
Yeah,
Do
like
you see that?
yeah, exactly that.
And
I
it's
feel
when
like
you're in
that
Paris.
does happen as you get older though.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was younger, I'd go out for pointless things.
Me.
You know, but I think
I
that
went
is,
out every night.
But now I wouldn't just go out for no reason.
They were like shading
would I?
Alex Zara, like you go out too much.
Yeah.
She parties. I was like, Jesus
She's
Christ!
young.
Thank God I didn't have the internet. Because if y'all think she's bad, y'all should have seen me at her age. The
Yeah.
girl's like 22 years old, 21.
That's the time she should be doing
is
it.
22.
She's
Wow.
Yes, I was like,
young.
she should be doing that now. Like,
But
that's
she's
the time.
also, I feel like she was like 16 the last time I realized
Right?
that Erin was here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That makes me feel old, and I don't even know the girl. Erin makes me feel old. Yeah, that's crazy. 22.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. Wow.
that's crazy.
Time goes so fast.
It does.
It really does.
It really does.
That's insane. It's actually insane. What is?
What's your pit?
Yeah, what's your?
I think my pit would have to also be related to Joshua Tree.
No.
So again, I told you guys before, but I hired a Jeep thinking I don't drive, so I don't have a clue about cars.
Did people not drive where you live?
Oh no,
Like
people
New
drive.
York?
I just
You just, like, don't wanna
I just
drive.
never learned.
Got it.
And I don't think I ever will.
I'll teach you.
I think I will. No, I will be a danger to society. I would
You
be
don't
terrible.
wanna drive.
No, I really don't. I like being
Driven
and being safe and other people being safe
For
but
humanity.
again, I don't have a clue about cars. I thought, oh my god, a Jeep must be huge, like
I'm
massive.
imagining him like this.
No, oh my god, it'd be imagine driving my Joshua Tree.
like
Shocking.
That's
It
what
would be
I'm imagining.
terrible. But again, thinking it was a huge car, and we had obviously because we were shooting here. I'm here for like so many things, so my cases are just ridiculous. We had like I think like 12 to 14 cases in the back.
Is that
of
like
the
a
Jeep.
product?
Yeah,
product?
yeah, it was for a new collection that we launched. Was that yesterday? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It already launched?
Yeah, we launched it
Tell us
yesterday.
what it was.
Oh yeah, it was for it's a space cowboy collection.
Space
It was our
Cowboy.
fourth
That's
birthday
why you were in the
collection.
Oh, I love
desert.
that.
So it all worked out perfectly, but we shot it on Saturday, edited it all Sunday,
cool.
launched it Monday.
On Monday.
So the weekend was wild. But I think the pit was the fact that we had to travel from Joshua Tree to LA with 14 cases in the back of a Jeep and 4 people. It was hell. I had like 2 cases on top of me. I was like this on the dashboard. Like,
No, you didn't.
it was awful. It was awful. So I think that was probably my pit, but it was.
You thought you had a
the week's actually been
Suburban on
okay,
your
so I
hands.
can't
Yep.
complain too much. Yeah.
Yep.
You didn't think you were gonna make it?
No, Laurie was driving, and she's probably just as bad as what I would be. So.
That's a far drive too.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Laurie is like she's so in her own world. So I watch her drive and I'm like, oh my god, are you even looking? So when the car was filled with cases, I was like, this is it. I'm never gonna.
This is it.
This is the end.
She can't see behind her.
Makeup
It's cases.
everywhere.
Blush all over the highway.
Death by makeup everywhere.
But yeah, that was my pit. But yeah,
Wow.
apart
Oh
from
my
that, I think I've had a good
gosh.
week so far.
Well, at least it's like not a crazy.
Yeah,
pit.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
chill.
awful.
It's chill.
This episode of Full Coverage is sponsored by BetterHelp. This month is all about gratitude, and this is your reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, including yourself. I think therapy is so important for self-development and self-growth, and with BetterHelp, they make it more accessible than ever.
I love therapy. I've been in therapy multiple times in my life, and I feel like it's been such a helpful thing for me to just kind of reassess what's going on and to have someone there that's a professional that can help kind of bounce ideas back and not judge you and literally just give you the most sound advice that you can possibly hear, which is actually so nice. And literally BetterHelp is online therapy catered towards you, and you can literally switch out therapists anytime. You just fill out a quick questionnaire, and then you can find a therapist that literally matches your needs.
You can also switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/fullcoverage today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/fullcoverage.
Mine is like, I like pulled my back nerve.
You
God.
did.
I literally was standing like just normally, but then I like moved my leg like wrong, and then my entire left of my body went like zing, and like zapped.
my
and I was like,
God.
and I was like, I knew something weird happened. I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting old. Like I was like, something just happened. Something happened to me, and
It really
literally for the
comes out your
last
heart
2
and fast.
days, I've been like almost like not immobile, but I'm very like cautious of how I'm moving
No
because
jerking
like no
motions.
jerking, no like don't get too crazy. Like I've been like
Right.
on heat pads, ibuprofen, like the whole thing, and it's literally just from like standing and I just like moved.
I
like,
literally
wrong.
said,
Crazy.
how did you hurt yourself? He goes, I did nothing.
And that's what I was like. I didn't do anything.
He's
Right? I
like,
literally am just hurt. Like
You need to come
I
up with a
don't
better
know why.
story for that.
No, I
Like,
do. I was like,
fell,
I was getting
I was run
pounded.
over.
Right,
Yeah,
Something more interesting.
No, literally something that's like actually like. Oh yeah, I was going crazy at Salmon
Yeah.
Colby's
Yeah.
party.
That's
No,
what it
you guys,
was.
I literally was like on 800 milligrams of ibuprofen to go to the party because I was
Oh,
literally
really?
like
Oh
I
my
was
God.
literally a grandpa.
That's like
so
a
even
pain
now
as well
I'm like
that is so unexplainable. It's
I
like such
can't
an
describe
uncomfortable
it.
pain.
And the thing is, like, your back's attached to everything.
It is.
So like any like movement you can do, like it like will activate your back. Like walking upstairs, walking in general, moving your arms, like anything, your back is like attached to everything. So it's like you have to be super careful, and it's easy to hurt your back, like anywhere.
When it's already hurt as well, it's so easy to hurt
Re-hurt.
it worse.
Yeah. So I'm literally just kind of like in a in a calm.
Yeah, I feel like that's the worst pit than having to sit like this. And
no, I literally am. I'm like, so now I bought a heat pad, like I can wrap around my body to like just like be constantly in that. So that's helping a lot. To, like,
I feel bad for
pain.
people with back pain. Whenever you have back pain, you're like, damn, how do y'all live with
like how do you live
Well,
with chronic back pain?
That's
awful.
How do you live?
I think from being a makeup artist for so many years, and being
God.
clients,
Bend
oh my
over.
god.
We're like this constantly.
I look at my posture sometimes. Like, say if someone takes a picture of you and you're just like, oh.
I was like, please
It's
don't.
the makeup artist
please don't.
posture. I don't know how makeup artists
Oh
do
my god,
it.
I don't either.
terrible. Like it's actually shocking how bad some people's posture can get from being a makeup artist.
Absolutely.
You're
They
constantly
bend over
leaning like
all
this.
day.
Yeah, no, literally, and
That tech neck,
like
like-
and your shoulders are like basically touching your knees.
Yep.
And, yeah,
A
it's-
fucking vulture.
Yeah, like this.
like a vulture.
like a
like that.
vulture, exactly. But yeah, back pain is actually the worst.
It's
It is.
the worst. And like because I don't like really glam people anymore, so I don't experience that anymore. But when I worked that back, I would like constantly you're like leaning over doing it, and I'm like not tall, but I'm not short either, so I'm constantly like leaning
tall are
down,
you?
like 6 feet.
Okay.
So I'm constantly like leaning over,
Yeah.
because like they're usually smaller than me. It's like you know a girl or something,
Or
and I'm like
seated-
that, and I'm like
seated.
sitting, and I'm like my back hurts. That would be the worst. So like constant chronic back pain, I cannot even imagine.
not fun.
So shout out to all of y'all have chronic back pain. I'm so sorry.
We're thinking of
I'm
you.
going through the gigs. We are like prayers to you. I'm
And
going
he
through the
goes
gigs
to bed
currently.
every night. Think about y'all.
I said a prayer last night for you
Yes,
guys.
a whisper.
I was like, please help them.
Like this video and it'll cure your
And
back
help
pain.
me, honestly, help me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going through the gigs with my back
Dear
right
God, please.
Dear God, please help me. I will never sin again. What's your fit?
Mine's very lame, but my football team is trash this year, and we're always number one. I love college football. I'm an Alabama
Football,
fan.
is this rugby?
Football is football,
is-
but y'all call soccer football.
Soccer? Football? Okay.
Which technically I think it's
I
supposed to be
feel like
called
rugby is
football
similar
because it's
ish.
with
yeah,
the
I'll
foot,
be honest. I think you guys
and we call it
you know,
soccer.
like football, you should play it with your foot.
Yeah.
Right?
It makes
We
more
know.
sense that y'all call
Yeah.
it, and then we do the hand for our football. You know what
Do you
I
know
mean?
when I have these conversations, it always reminds me of that episode of Drag Race where I think it was Ben de la Creme and she was being someone from Downton Abbey.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
Nicki Minaj, was it either Nicki Minaj? I think it was one of them being Nicki Minaj, and she was like, I don't even know what she's talking about. And she was like, we originated the language. And I just always think that. I'm like, yeah. We did.
Like, we did originate the language actually. No, it's true. Like
It
football.
actually,
Yeah.
I always say it actually does make more sense that you guys call it football.
So it's
It's
you play
similar
it with
to
you
rugby,
throw
I
it.
think.
yeah, with your hand.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Yeah.
all hand.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
That's
like running
bigger
with
over
it.
here than football than soccer.
yeah.
Do you think? Like,
Wait, what?
football over here is bigger than soccer.
Soccer is
Oh,
not
gosh,
nearly as big
yes.
here
Gosh,
as it is in
yes.
like the UK.
Football's
okay.
way bigger.
100%.
What would you say our biggest sport is here in US?
Between football and like baseball,
I would say between
Okay.
football and baseball. Is
I
our
would say
biggest
like our
sport.
biggest sports.
Because think
Basketball
about,
too is so big.
but also think about the like national championship, Super Bowl.
Oh,
like
see,
that's
Super
our
Bowl's
most
huge.
watched.
What is
That's the two best
that's
football teams.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
like your
Mm-hmm.
I
equivalent.
don't
rugby.
ever watch the Super Bowl for
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. I watch it for the halftime
You're watching for the
show.
Correct.
halftime. Exactly.
Me
so
too.
do we.
Because
Yeah.
see, I don't follow professional football. I only do college. We have two.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have two levels of soccer?
So you have like different leagues. So you've got I think Premier League is the top. I think you've
Okay.
got Championship. And then I think there's quite a few leagues of football.
Oh,
'cause
that people are
in
into.
Europe, like football is so huge. It's
That's, like, the
it's
thing.
huge.
I watched
or
the
soccer.
Soccer.
Sorry, guys.
But I
yeah.
watched the David Beckham documentary, and it really broke everything down for me. And like I understood how big it is,
It's
like
icon
everywhere over there.
status. Like
That's like
it's crazy.
It's bigger than football is here.
100%.
Like
Like that's a lifestyle.
soccer
over
is
there.
bigger there than our biggest sport here.
Yeah.
Because I've seen what goes on, and ain't nothing like that ever
Well,
happened
also,
here.
like you see like David Beckham's like following.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
People are literally
that
like
alone, or
obsessed.
Cristiano Ronaldo, isn't
Oh,
that?
yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah,
Cristiano,
yeah, yeah.
He's like the most
Which is
followed.
just, I always find that so crazy that Ronaldo is Ronaldo Portuguese or Brazilian?
I have no
Lord,
idea.
I don't know.
But it's
He's
something.
fine.
It's so.
That's
He's
all I
fine.
know.
He's fine.
He's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, that's exactly it. But like he used to be, he used to play for Manchester United, and I just always think like it's so random that these huge footballers used to live like round the corner from us. It's just
Wow.
crazy.
Which is
because
crazy.
Manchester is so small, so
Oh,
you'd
is
probably drive past their house. Have you never been to
it?
Manchester?
I don't think
If I have, I don't remember.
Same. which is
Because
horrible.
Europe, it kind of gets blurry for me.
Yeah.
The United States is just like boom, and then Europe's like every.
Because there's a lot of like, I need to take like the train to get to places.
Yeah, which is really cool, by the way.
I think I have been to Manchester actually. Yeah, 100%.
I think you've been to Manchester.
I have.
I think you went with Beauty Bay.
Yes,
Years
yes,
ago.
I
There
did.
you go.
That I wouldn't realize that was like Manchester.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was like the place.
It's just England.
It to me, babe. It's England to me.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Like it's all England.
Also, a lot of Americans, they always say, "Yeah, we're going to London," and then they don't even go to London. They
Okay,
go
so
to, like,
that's me. Okay,
you
so
end
me.
up in like Kent or something, and I'm like, "That's not London."
Okay.
But,
This year I just went to London for a week, and then I went to Wimbledon, which is a place.
Yes, I saw that you went to Wimbledon.
Who knows? Who
I didn't
knew
know it was a
that
place, by the
Wimbledon is a place?
I had no idea.
I never
I
knew
thought it
that.
was
You just thought it was a tennis
I
court.
thought it was a tennis match in
did I.
London.
Yeah.
I thought it was a tennis match in London. Whenever they told us we were doing a couple-hour car ride to go to Wimbledon, I was like, "Yeah, I did go to the match." So they're like, "No, we're staying in Wimbledon," and I was like, they were like, "It's not Wimbledon, it's Wimbledon," and I was like,
Okay.
Another one.
Another one, thank you.
So much, so
Thank
many
you.
amazing little towns, though.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about the UK is like obviously London is incredible. I feel like if you're going to visit, you obviously have to visit London.
Do you eat mayonnaise with your sides? Because that
Do
disturbs
you eat beans
me.
on toast?
Yeah, beans. I mean, I'll be honest, not it's not my a cuisine
It's
that I have
not-
often.
okay.
Okay.
But my sauces, and this has been since I've been a kid. Do you guys call it a sauce?
Yes.
Yeah, like sausage
we
sauce.
So
do,
my
we
sauce
do.
is mayonnaise with ketchup.
Yep.
Mixed together.
Oh, look, that's
Yep.
great.
Do you guys call it prawn cocktail sauce here?
Oh, I don't know what we call it. I
It's
think we just
something,
mix
but-
it.
Mayo,
that's-
ketchup.
But I would never eat mayo by itself.
Okay, so
Ever.
we literally were watching people just dip everything in mayo.
Oh, no.
Blew my mind.
That is like, it makes me
That's
gasp.
so strange that you don't
That's
like
crazy,
it.
because I
Everyone
feel
there is
like,
obsessed.
I don't mind it mixed, but
Okay.
it's a bit too thick.
It is. It's very dense
It
of a
is.
sauce. It's too fucking dense for a sauce. Like it don't
Yeah.
wiggle. Like it barely wiggles. It's crazy.
Also, I need you guys to get more yellow mustard in the mix. No yellow mustard.
Anywhere.
Nowhere.
You don't like
Anywhere.
yellow mustard?
I
No,
love
she
it.
does.
Oh, I
But
love yellow
it's hard to
mustard.
find.
It's hard to find because they
over
give
here.
you mayo and ketchup with everything.
Okay,
but
okay.
but in America it's always ketchup
Mustard
and
and ketchup.
mustard.
Okay.
And they typically
oh,
leave.
you mean in the UK?
Yeah, in the UK.
Okay, maybe you didn't go to the right places because there's definitely mustard there.
Also, there's
when you
mustard,
next
like,
come, I'll
places.
take you and
Yes,
find some.
But see, I feel
Please.
like that would be different. If we
Yeah,
were with
you
you,
would know.
you would
Yeah,
show us like the most sickening areas.
Yeah, or even just like the most simple like pubs.
Do you
that-
live in
that
London?
have- no, I live in Manchester. just
Where's
outside.
that? Like
So
we've
east,
got
London
north?
here.
Okay.
It's like down there, like near Paris. Then
Oh, okay.
it's like northwest, so it's up at the top of
Is that
England,
like a
but,
big
like, A
city?
bit more. Northwest is like the region.
Okay.
I don't like you know how you've got like the West Coast.
Yep.
Yes.
We've
Yep.
got like
Northwest.
not that.
I'm
not
with
that
you.
because it's about this big.
I'm with you.
But I'm in the northwest, which is kind of like there.
Is that like a big city or is London still
It's-
the big
oh
city?
no, it's still. To be fair, I think it's London, Birmingham, and then Manchester.
Oh, okay, so it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Manchester's like the actual city itself is pretty small, but then it's like the surrounding like
You
suburban
have so
areas.
much.
that
It's a big like
are-
area.
Yeah. Like there's.
Do
the
you love
towns in
it?
Manchester. I love Manchester. It's such a cool place.
Were
I
you
love the way you
born
say
and raised
Manchester.
there?
I
I was
know.
raised in Bolton, and now here I am in Woodland Hills.
Wow.
It's crazy. How did this happen?
Look at
How?
I used to
that.
watch your guys' videos in my mum's box room. In
What's
her-
a box
What's a
room?
box room?
Oh, it's like, oh my God, you guys don't know what a box room is. So if anyone is from the UK, you'll know. But we have things called council housing in the UK. It's like social housing.
Okay.
So I grew up in a council house. And my mum, it was a 3-bedroom. One of them was just basically my mum's hoarding room. The other one was my mum's bedroom. And then there's another one that basically has like a big box in it. And this is in a lot of homes like that. But the box basically holds up the stairs underneath it.
Oh, so
So
okay, guys, it's like this.
The room,
I
say the room was this
see.
big, but the box takes up half of the room.
So you
God,
called the
it's
box,
like a box room.
room.
Yeah, so we
and
called
it's
it
the
box room.
staircase pushed up in the
yeah,
box.
basically. So that's
know.
that's where I used to watch all the videos.
It's
I'd be
so
up till
the
funny.
2
box
o'clock.
room.
The box room.
Yeah, the box room.
That's so cool. I didn't know that was a thing.
I know. I'm really
Yeah.
fascinated.
I'm
It's
fascinated by
such a
box
funny
room.
thing to be fascinated by.
I know.
It's just like so interesting. So I'm like, it's so different.
If you went in one, you'd be like, okay, goodbye.
Like I was like, it's
You
like
know,
an
I
attic.
assumed we were like all the same lingo and everything, and then I watched Love Island UK, and
Oh,
we're actually not. Like the UK and the US is actually very different lingo, but if you watch Love Island UK, you actually learn so much
yeah.
So
lingo
much.
that
I also
they
think like
use.
the banter is completely different as well.
Completely
like sometimes
different.
I really had to teach myself how to joke over here. 'Cause, like in the UK, we're just like we just take the piss out of everyone.
Of
That's
course.
just like,
Yeah.
that's like a
I know
love
that.
language.
I know that from
Yeah.
Love Island.
That is exactly what it is. Like you just fully rip into people.
Yes.
But like over here, you just can't do that as much. So you've got to be a bit more aware.
It's like shady here.
All my husband's best friends are from the UK.
Okay.
And they live here. And so they take the piss out. Like they're
the piss.
brutal.
They're shredding
What do
each
you guys
other.
say if you're taking the piss out of someone?
You're shading them.
You're
shredding them.
Shredding.
Shredding.
I would say like it's a
I'll say
shredding.
you're shredding them. Like you're really getting them together.
Yeah,
Okay.
gathering, shredding.
Gathering them.
Because again, if you say take the piss out of someone over here and they maybe haven't watched Love Island, they're like,
take the piss out of me.
Ew.
Wow.
"Ew, that's disgusting."
How? Literally. Thank you so much to Smalls for sponsoring this portion of full coverage, you guys. This holiday season, our sponsor Smalls is donating millions of dollars of cat food to the Humane Society, which is so absolutely incredible. You guys, cats are obsessed with Smalls.
And so am I as a cat owner. I love Smalls. I love the convenience of it, especially. They deliver it right to your door, and it's preservative-free ingredients that you would find in your own fridge. So I feel really good about giving this healthy cat food to my cats. My cats actually love it. They're so picky. They love the seafood flavor, but we mix flavors for them, and they eat it up.
After switching to Smalls, 88% of cat owners reported overall health improvements, and that's a massive deal because Smalls is a much healthier alternative to other cat food. It's literally voted in New York Magazine the best cat food according to veterinarians, which I think is actually really cool.
So give your cat the gift of great cat food this holiday season. Head to smalls.com/full and use promo code FULL at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, and you have to use our code FULL for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code FULL for 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
I love that. So question, starting out in the journey, because obviously we have questions that we have written down. What got you into doing beauty? Because I feel like when for as long as I've known, you've been the UK artist to me. So I was like, what made you get into doing beauty? Why did you even like it?
I think I grew up with two sisters who they weren't definitely the most glam sisters I could have had, unfortunately. But they definitely were more glam than what my mum was glam, blah blah blah. So I think I always I've always had makeup in my life here and there. But then so before I was a makeup artist, I used to sing in pubs, clubs, old men's clubs. And then I went on to X Factor, and I was in a fucking boy band. It's hilarious.
You're lying.
No
way, I never knew this.
Me neither.
Yeah, I was in
It's because you didn't have a channel, so we wouldn't have known these things.
Thank God. Thank God. But yeah, I was in a boy band. X Factor, basically, I was at music college at the time, so X Factor came to colleges, put bands together, and we got put together. And at this point, I'd been singing in pubs, clubs, old men's clubs, singing to people that just did not want to listen to a 16-year-old sing Elvis. They're how do you know about this song? But then I was doing that for so long, and then I did X Factor, and we basically got kicked off X Factor. It was just before judges' houses. So I think at that point I was just I just want a change. I want something new.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since before I can remember, and I feel like I was kind of interested in makeup, but didn't really ever know how to start. And then one of my friends at the time had just opened a salon in a town near me. And I started working there on a Saturday. She just said, come in and work, learn from the other artists. And that's how it started. Yeah.
Wow. When you start off singing, can you still sing now? Is it something that you never really forget?
I feel like it's still there.
Okay, got it. So
but,
it's
but I
there.
also look back at the X Factor things and think, was it ever there? Could I actually sing?
I'm sure it literally
was I delusional?
You?
Was my mum bad for saying, yeah, go for it? When really I probably shouldn't have. But yeah, I think it's there.
What type of music were you singing?
It was a lot of the old stuff because that would be my audience. It'd be people in the 70s.
Yeah.
It was a time of my life.
That's really cool.
You've lived multiple lives.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
I always
amazing.
like to say I'm very blessed to have lived multiple lives because I've tried a bit of everything. But yeah, started in the salon and then started getting really busy with clients on the weekends. But then from there, I started to do more teaching, so one-on-one classes. And from there, that's when I kind of left aside the clients because then I could have my weekends back and I could earn a lot more money from doing the classes, even though I'd work more days. And then from there, from the teaching, then that's when I started traveling the world doing master classes. And I think it was 2019. It was the year before COVID. I did a 6-month tour around South America, just teaching in crazy amounts of countries, just non-stop, all by myself. I had to look back at it and I was like, think it must have been about 19 at the time, and I was like, how the hell did I do that? I was so scared.
Really
I didn't speak
master
Spanish
classes.
or Portuguese. I was just like,
Were you naturally good at doing other people's makeup?
I think I was naturally good at being with people. So I was
Like
really
an
good
affinity.
at listening to people and also taking critique from people.
Yeah.
So I think that was like, that's why I loved working in the salon, because it's the best place to learn. I think you're literally doing it all day, every day.
Wow.
And you're working around other artists as well who I've actually really experienced. So yeah, I think I was probably naturally good at picking colors and those kind of things, like picking shades for people, and but I wasn't always good at makeup. I think.
Like color theory. You're good at color theory
somewhere.
already.
Yeah, I was good at color theory because I'd done art in school and stuff. But yeah, I think I wasn't amazing at the start.
You were always in the arts, huh?
Yeah. I'm not academic at all.
Me either.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sometimes I'm like, I just can't even entertain this conversation.
What year did you start your makeup line? Made by Mitchell, by the way.
Yes, made by Mitchell. So we launched in 2020 October. So it was in the first year of lockdown really, and we'd started working on it about a year and a half before. I'd done collabs. I did a collab with Beauty Bay. I did a collab with Morphe. Did a collab with who else did I collab with? P. Louise. Like I'd done all these collabs, and I just got to the point where I was like, right, okay, they've been great. Some not so great. It was just like you'd learn as you go. As
we literally have.
And I was like, I don't really want to build someone else's brand anymore. Like I want to build something for me that is gonna have longevity, that one day I'll be like so proud that that's my legacy. So that's when I started working on it. Obviously not knowing that the year after would be lockdown. But it was probably the best thing for me in that time because I had so much to focus on. So yeah, we launched October 2020 and we just turned 4 2 days ago.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's so crazy.
Crazy 4 years. Sometimes I'm like, it feels
Can I ask this? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. We can cut it. But do you do your brand with a partner or do you self-fund it yourself?
No, so I've got a business partner, thank God. Because I think even though I did so many incredible collabs, I earned a hell of a lot of money before COVID. I was so stupid with my money back then. I just spent it all. I was like, oh my God, it's always going to come in.
That's good for people to hear though.
Yeah, I agree.
That's real.
There was one day when I probably wouldn't want to speak about that because I was kind of embarrassed by it. But I also think I was 20 years old at the time, earning thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. And my dad was a bus driver and my mum worked in Sainsbury's. Like my mum and dad have probably never seen £1,000 cash.
Yeah.
So it was, I've never been taught that, So
Totally.
I learned the worst way, but also the best way,
Yeah.
So I think at that time, I just wasn't in the position to actually fund it myself. So I actually met my business partner through when I did my collab with P. Louise because my business partner started up P. Louise. So it was just connections, and I've been with her ever since, and she's absolutely amazing.
I literally love that.
You know, Manny does Lunar completely by herself, self-funded, and I did Laura Lee Los Angeles, which now I'm more focused on Minimum LA, which is my body care line, and we've done it by ourselves. But I'll be honest, I've totally hit a wall with it where I've self-funded it for so long to the point where I'm kind of like, I need a partner in order to continue this business.
Yeah,
So.
I think there's blessings to both sides of it. Isn't there? I think being self-funded is something that I think you should be so proud of. By the way,
Totally.
Thank you.
It is not easy.
Oh
at
my
all.
God, no! It's such a
So
risk.
hard.
It's such a risk,
It's
and
a risk.
it's something that I feel like you don't really realize the risk of it until you're actually in it as well. You know it's going to cost a hell of a lot of money, but then it's ordering more POs, it's fulfilling retail. There's so many layers to it that I think you just never really think of beforehand.
You don't.
really don't.
Once you're in it, you're in it, and you have to do it.
And then all your money's in it, and it's like, I could go buy another cool car, another cool house, but instead I bought product. You know what I mean?
But again, I think that's something to be so proud of. That just wasn't my journey, and I'll be honest, I'm so grateful for that as well, that I had someone that at the start believed in my idea.
I wouldn't recommend someone do what I did. I mean,
feel
maybe that's
same.
terrible, but
I feel
I'm
the
gonna be
same.
just so honest. I recommend them do what you did, and that's why I wanted to ask you.
No, of course, and again, that's something that I think sometimes when you build a machine, there's so many moving parts to it, and I'm always the first one to give credit to all of the working parts. I think so many people will be like, I did this all myself.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. There's so many other people that are a part of the process, and I'm so blessed that I have my business partner and the team that I have are just absolutely incredible. But I think that's why we've been able to grow so quick, because there's been the funds there to keep pumping back into it.
Yeah. I've watched you and you've helped my business watching your business grow, because of course a business owner to business owner, I'm going to watch, and see what's going on. And you guys got live before us, blew up. So like I'm like have this small indie business, and now I want to learn how to do that. So yeah, you've definitely been a front runner in it.
I think we really did like pioneer like the live shopping on TikTok.
Totally, 100%.
We were saying before with TikTok, it was. I remember when we first started, there were so many people like, this is going to cheapen your brand. This is going to ruin everything. It'll be over in a year. And I was like, well, at the time, I've not obviously spoke about this yet, but at the time, Made by Mitchell was doing so bad. It was just like, I'd hit a wall. I was like, I don't even know what I want this brand to be anymore. We'd launched it in COVID. I'd kind of run out of COVID. All my inspiration was just gone because I'd been locked up in my house for 2 years. And after that point, I was just like, I don't really know where we're going from here. So then we launched on Beauty Bay. And obviously Beauty Bay have got such like loyal customers that would rather shop on Beauty Bay because they get better shipping, they get the points, blah, blah, blah. So all of our customer, which was kind of my customer anyway, because we'd collabed before and we're from the same area, blah, blah, blah. Then just shopped on there. So really all our brand was at that point was just wholesale. That was really the only money we were making, which obviously isn't really as sustainable.
It's not sustainable. It's great.
It's good.
But helps. It's really to really hit home and keep doing this. It's not sustainable. It's also great,
but also at the same time, we were so fresh. So the POs were like maybe 20 lip glosses, and it's like, I've got rent to pay.
Yeah, literally.
That is not paying my rent.
And people think just because you're in Beauty Bay, they're ordering 10,000 units
no,
a day or
absolutely
Sephora,
not.
and that's absolutely not the
Absolutely
truth.
not.
People
they
all
really
the time are like, why is your brand not in Sephora? You could just sell product there. I'm like, baby, their requirements are way beyond anything I could ever imagine. So it's like to for the outside looking in, yes, cool opportunity to go to Sephora. For me, low-key a nightmare.
Oh my God, it's
like
scary.
it ruined me.
It's so scary. I was there for a year, and it literally was like one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I was like,
keep up
I can't do
with
this.
what they
It's so much.
require.
I remember Luna Beauty being in.
Yeah, it wasn't in Sephora. It was in Sephora
I
for a
actually
year.
remember seeing it in New York, and I was like, oh my God, Luna.
It was cool. It was a cool experience. I was glad I was able to do it, but like I learned so much doing it. Like you were saying, like it was so hard to do, especially like being indie, being self-funded. Like I'm like, I don't know like how we can do this.
I also think as well, like as when you start a business, when you build it, you always think like the next step is a retailer. Like that's just naturally what you think in your head, but it's not always for everybody, and that's okay. And I think that's something I've learned throughout the journey of it. Like for me, like the online retailers have been great, but I knew that I needed to be in stores. I just knew it. But the online retailers for us were kind of like taking away our customer from our direct sales. So then TikTok Shop started, and I remember at the time it was so crazy because I look back and it was maybe 2 and a bit years ago. We were doing like 20 orders a month, which is just so scary to think about because we had a hell of a lot of stock. Obviously, because I do have an amazing business partner. We really invested a lot of money in stock. There was like hundreds of thousands of these little blushes that nobody really was buying, and I was like, oh my God, how the hell are we going to get rid of this? And we started on TikTok Shop. We were doing about 20 orders a month, and I remember we did our first live. It was the most janky setup you've ever seen because again, it was just like
it's your first one. It's your first one.
It's not somewhere.
I'd done it on a model. I actually remember I did it on a creator called Big Fat Jenna, and I think she had blue hair at the time. Yeah, she had blue hair, and she's great. But we'd done the live and we did 20 orders on the live, and I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, what we normally do in a month.
You did in one day.
We did in 2 hours.
Yes.
And again, like as I've grown, I look back at the 20 order number and I'm like, oh my God, that was so scary. But like it's all about perspective. Like if I went on a live now with the current setup of the brand and the demands that we've got to hit and all the targets we've got to hit as well, because as you grow, obviously there's a lot more riding on it. We've got way more overheads now. So if I went onto a live now and we did 20 orders, I'd shit myself.
In 2 hours for 20 orders, you'd be like,
like,
oh my God.
Like what is happening?
Yeah.
So I would really panic, but again, it's perspective. Like back then, like that was just the start, and now we do like hundreds of thousands of orders a month, and it's
goodness, cool.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
Okay, can I ask you how often are you going live? How long are you going live?
I know
it's
hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Am I asking you for the podcast? No. Am I asking for myself?
Correct.
Yes. I'm just kidding. It's so interesting.
When we first started, I was on live every single day because it was like this was our only thing that was working.
Ish.
I think I was at the time doing maybe like 2 to 4 hours a day. Maybe I'd do some in the morning, some in the evening, and then I feel like I reached a point maybe about 6 months ago where I was like, I feel like I've got way more responsibility now. We're in retailers now. We're in Boots. We're going into other retailers, and I thought I need to spend my time more efficiently. And so now I'll do 1 12-hour live a week. which
one
is
set,
one
just
twelve.
like you're
but then
in
we've got
there.
other either affiliates or the girls that work for Made
I was
by
going to say,
Mitchell,
are you on for 12 hours or are you shifting in and out?
no. I'll go out for 5 minutes and have a wee,
so you're
whatever,
there
but-
for 12 hours. You're doing it.
It's heavy. It's
Oh.
heavy. But also, I truly think that's the reason for the success of Made by Mitchell, because you build such a loyal community when you are constantly on live with people.
Do you know what's so crazy that I learned about live, and it's through me doing this, is that you actually build a completely different audience. It is not necessarily the audience that's watching all your TikToks. You have a literal live audience, and it's like separate from your YouTube, your TikToks. Like it is these people that are connected with you on the heaviest level because they're with you live all day.
Well, I think with the obviously you can go live on pretty much any platform, but I think with TikTok. Especially because you are shopping at the same time, it's such an unfiltered way of creating a piece of content that doesn't live on forever, but is there for the time being. And I think that is
another layer that makes it special.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's one off, isn't it? So people don't want to miss it. And I couldn't put the success of Made by Mitchell really on anything else other than that, because that's what's allowed us to build our TikTok following so quickly. And like it's just being clever with it. But again, looking back at when we first started compared to where we are now, it's absolutely wild. It's like the most surreal journey, and we wouldn't have done it without TikTok Shop. So again, I always say those people that were like, "Oh my god, you're just a TikTok."
They're the same
now.
people that tell you not to start
Exactly.
a YouTube channel in
Exactly.
2010.
It's the same shit.
So many people said it's not going to be there. You're wasting your life. Like, don't do this. Don't quit college.
that exact thing. So I remember in June or July, we did TikTok came to us and we said, we want to do like this huge live. It was like they started introducing showcases where they would kind of partner with you to create the live. They'd produce it all, blah, blah, blah. So we was like, okay, let's do it. We were the first brand in the UK to do it with them. And they said, we want to hit $500,000 because obviously TikTok is GMV in dollars. So I was like...
You're like, what do you mean?
I don't want to do it. And we ended up doing $1 million in sales on
Shut
that.
up, Mitchell, stop.
But again, in 12 hours, I remember, you just reminded me of it. The people that were once saying were like, oh my fucking God, like how the hell did that happen? I was like, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
But also, like, this is why you've got to be, as a business founder, owner, whatever it might be, you've got to be so adaptable to the times. And if you don't do that, you will get left behind.
Absolutely. If you're listening to the noise of your I actually title all of my lives now QVC with Laura Lee, because for so long they would rag me on it and be like, you're trying to be like QVC. I was like, exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing. You know, or you're Jason Nash. You're a loser now. And I'm like, that's correct.
Yep.
Yes,
You're
I
like,
am.
yeah, I'll take it.
Yes,
You know
I
what?
am.
Like, I don't mind being a little bit of a loser though.
No.
I'm like an absolute geek.
I was a
and
loser when I
I'm cool
started
with
my
that.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm a loser
Exactly.
pioneering lives. And it's just honestly, I'm gonna be so real. It's like changed my brand's day and night. I've watched what you've done. I've admired it. I really admire that you, as a business owner who has partners, is on the lives.
Oh yeah.
Like I really admire that.
I think that will always be the case. I think.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, we have other people that go on as well, which they're amazing. And I think that's been really helpful for me because I don't always have to just be thinking the live, because there's so many other parts of a business that people don't even get to see.
Right.
But that for a long time was all I focused on. And I ran into a wall. I was so uninspired. I was just like, I'm just literally talking to myself 12 hours straight every day. So now that we do have a bigger team that supports that, it's exciting again because I still get to do my makeup. I still get to create formulas, and which is my favorite part of it all. Like, I'm sure you got the creative process is the best part of it all. But yeah, I think with the lives, it's so important to have a face. I can't remember who I was speaking to about this the other day, but people buy off people. You know, I think gone are the days where people really want to build up a big traditional corporation. Like
I feel like I agree.
It's smaller businesses now that really want to be like homed by the customer, you know what I mean?
Or
and
the big brands trying to make it look like they're small.
Yes, exactly.
The big brands try to make
that.
it look small. They'll like have a constant PR person that's like the face, the influencer of the brand to look small. When they're a multi-billion-dollar business.
We're like, oh my god, we have to look indie. Like,
yes, they try to
totally
look
do that.
indie.
But the people see straight.
They do.
If we do it, then they do.
Yeah,
That's
and I think
why you did $1 million in GMV.
Like, okay,
girl.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's important for people to know who they're buying off, and I think especially in today's climate with everything that's going on in the world, I think it's people want to buy off you because they see what kind of person you are, you know. And you don't have to be the best person on the planet. You know, I'm not perfect by any means, but I think people see the humility, you know what I mean, and they see like how hard it is to what I do. You know, I might not be self-funded, but it's still hard work.
Absolutely.
And sometimes not being self-funded is more pressure sometimes.
Because it's someone else's money.
So even that, like, the pressure is heavy, and for everyone involved. But I'm just very lucky to have an amazing community that always support every live we do, every launch we do, but also the inner team as well that will always help where they can. And you know, I'm very blessed in that sense, definitely. Your team makes or breaks.
I feel like you put the work in and you built that.
Yeah,
though. You know, it's not something that landed on your lap.
No,
you pioneered something early that no one else was really doing, and you took a chance on it. You fought for your business. You show up 12 hours sitting there on live, and you did way more before even to get this thing rolling.
Yeah, and that's kind of like this is like my I'm in like the reward.
Yes.
I only have to go live 1 day a week now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's a 12-hour live.
Yeah.
It's still 12 hours. It's still basically
very hard.
all of the hours just in 1 day.
40 people are doing 8-hour, 9-hour jobs a week. You know, it's
heavy.
That's crazy.
And it's so funny because I think a lot of people probably think, oh my God, you just done live. But oh my God.
Don't even say that.
Girl.
Don't even say that. It
One
is
of the hardest things.
hard because Laura obviously does lives. I've done lives as well with my brand. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Laura's done 4 hours. Like, those 2 hours feel like 10.
The longest I've ever done is like 4 hours and some change.
Woo!
How do I do 12? Like, what do I do, Mitchell?
Okay,
what do I do?
Let's do one together.
Okay,
when I next come to America,
please.
Literally.
We're on TikTok Shop USA now as well, so let's do one
please.
together.
Oh my God.
I will
and it'll be more fun
and if you need to go off for an hour, I will be like, okay, so this is Laura Lee. Hi.
I'm in the background.
Yeah.
Help me! Help me!
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to have people in the room with you. Like, it's so important. I think I've done so many lives where it's just me and I'm just talking to a camera like this.
Yeah, you'll lose your mind.
You do lose your mind, but I think having energy in the room is so important.
It helps.
And when we did the 1 million live, like, I think there was a group of about 40 people in the room.
How long were y'all on whenever you hit headlines? Like, you were in the headlines for this live.
It was huge. It was like...
Was it 12 hours?
12 hours, yeah. So we did it in 12 hours. It was... Again, I think it was even huger as well because the target was 500 and we all thought we weren't going to hit it. We were like, oh my fucking God, this is like, what are we even thinking? We'd pulled basically launches from like months and months ahead and we was like, right, we'll launch all these 8 SKUs of product on one live. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to be
like launching on the live.
So every hour we
100%.
dropped a new product. And thank God we had, again, this is why I'm so grateful for my team because we could do things like that because we have the infrastructure there to be able to be like, right, we'll pull this launch from here and we'll put something else there.
That's why being a small business because you don't have a ton of red tape.
Exactly. So that was a big part of how we even did it in the first place.
Do you put things like in general whenever you go on live? Do you do discounts and like specials for people? Is everything regular price?
No, so we've always... We have a very affordable brand. That's just always what Made by Mitchell will be.
Okay.
When Made by Mitchell goes onto the high street, I kind of want it to be like a NYX kind of brand. Like,
I didn't realize this.
Yeah, that's where I want Made by Mitchell.
Like, how much is like a highlighter, or just like give me anything?
It would retail for 14.
But
like
my
on
goodness.
TikTok, because obviously you get your TikTok coupons, it can go from 8 to 12, or sometimes 5 if they've got like crazy deals. So
you really don't have to discount because you're already.
Well, that is the beauty of TikTok Shop. I think. At the start as well, they wanted to onboard so many brands.
Of course.
Because that is their business. Their brand is onboarding. Like, if they've got the customer there, they knew that people would shop in it. But if you don't have brands, what are people going to shop for?
Yeah.
So that was like an incentive at the start. We were like I remember the first few months of us being on TikTok Shop, people were getting like blushes for like 50 pence.
Yes.
And that's why people were like, you're ruining your brand. I was like, okay, but
you're like, I'm getting full price for it, so
I'm okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
if this ends next year, at least I know that I still got the full price. So
yeah,
I don't think it's as much anymore. So now we'll get like a day a week of like, oh, they'll give you coupons, they'll give you extra traffic and all that kind of stuff. So it's not as heavy as what it once was, but it was never going to be like that
already
forever.
a lower price. Like, it's not. You're not paying $50 for like a product.
I think if I decided to do that, I think my customer would be like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Are you on crack?
Yeah. This is really interesting to me.
I just always said, like, when I started the brand, I'd obviously, as a business, it's better to put your price point up. More profit in it, more margin, blah, blah, blah. But it's, for me, I'd rather take a hit on certain things and more people be able to buy it.
100%.
That's just that. But again, every business model is different, and that we work on volume quite a lot. So rather than us charging $50 for an eyeshadow palette, we'll charge 25 or whatever, and we'll sell thousands more, and we can then spin it around quicker. So it is just it's a bit like fast fashion in a way. We're very, very fast, but we do it for things that people actually need and people want.
Fast beauty.
Fast beauty, and it's a real thing. But that is our business model, basically.
So cool.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. I like that.
I'm basically at the beginning stages of what you've already conquered. Like I'm now working with TikTok. Manny is too, or he's going to be.
Oh my God, I have one in November.
Yeah, he's
People
gonna.
would love
My first like
where they
4
produce
hour.
your life for you.
Yeah, people will. Sorry.
No.
No, yeah.
Go
What
ahead.
did you say?
Where they produce your life for
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah.
know,
Oh,
with their
that's so.
cameras
Oh,
on.
you actually do.
I wanna-
You'll have such a good time. It's like that was the first time I was like, oh my God, like I really realized how big this could be.
Yeah.
Not the brand, but
Totally.
TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
Because they have a huge team. I'm sure it's even bigger over here as well. But there's just so much possibility with it. Like you can do so much.
It's
from
really
it.
cool
100%.
that they do that with their creators because YouTube doesn't have a team that's
Girl.
like, come in and we'll shoot some YouTube videos
Exactly,
for
but I
you, or
think-
Instagram's not
I
like,
think
we'll
that
shoot.
is why that is why TikTok has been so great. Again, like I said before, the Instagram shop that was terrible. It was the most like pointless thing that
Horrible.
happened.
Horrible.
Ain't no
But
buying from there.
they've made the shopping experience amazing. They've
One
they've
click.
conquered social commerce.
One click
like,
purchase.
One click, done.
The
It's-
discounts they
the
give
discount,
people.
exactly. But then also the support they actually give either the
Yep.
creator or the brand.
Yep.
It's again. I know I don't. It's TikTok being gotten rid of.
We don't know.
We have no idea.
We have no
Well,
idea.
I hope not.
Well, we also hope not.
Okay, here's the thing. They're like, yes, it will, but they're going to do so many lawsuits and legal action. It'll be years and years
okay.
before it could
So I know
actually
obviously
happen.
people have their opinions on social media, but I genuinely think TikTok is one of the most like natural, realistic platforms.
Yeah.
Like people blow up and
I
they
agree.
they could literally just be filming a video in the kitchen, just like talking to the camera. Or it might be a single mom that's like just wants to tag a product, and I think that is why TikTok is so great because anyone can be a part of it.
Anyone.
100%.
It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't
Yep.
have to be filmed on the best camera. It's like, you know,
They don't have to be a baddie.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So I think that's why TikTok have smashed it the way they have.
I agree, and I
because-
feel like it's also the most uncensored compared to a lot of the
Yeah.
media out there. Like people will actually get like real opinions about things because they're able to give their opinions about something,
Exactly.
and it's not as filtered compared to like let's say you go on Twitter or you go on Instagram, like it's almost like catered to be very like a certain way.
Yeah.
Whereas TikTok, like you can get a lot of information about a lot of different things, which is so nice. Like you
TikTok
actually
is like my news channel.
no, literally, I was like, you can actually get a lot
I
of
don't know if that's
information.
a good thing or a bad thing, but that's where I found out.
I mean, I found a lot of that shit from there too. But it's nice to like not feel like you're getting pinned to like
Yeah.
one side of something.
Of course.
Like you're getting a lot of information about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You get to formulate your own opinion, which is really cool about
Yeah,
TikTok.
that is cool.
You know?
And obviously opinions are cool. Sometimes not so cool.
I mean,
but,
of course.
But again, that's just part of it. And I think when you've done this for so long, it's like, it's in one ear, out the other, isn't it? But
Yeah.
Literally.
but yeah, I think that is also another amazing thing of TikTok, the uncensorship of it. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's,
I love
it's
that.
just very real and natural. That's what I love
Yeah.
about it. It's refreshing.
It
When you've been
is.
creating content for years and everything's had to be perfect and this has got to be this way, and but then you can literally just get on a camera, tag your product and be like, guys, this is a $5 today. Like,
Yeah.
that's just, it's like, oh my God, my job is so much easier.
Well, they
now.
actually share your stuff too.
Yes,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Exactly.
Like you can go do
Exactly.
that. Like we can't pin your product, but like you can go live on Instagram all day or YouTube.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to share it
Oh,
to
no.
anyone.
But Instagram,
No one
I've just
will
given up
see
on
it.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's just
Like,
Instagram
okay.
is just like a close friend to me now.
TikTok
It's
is
yeah,
like
what's
the
this?
only app that is willing to put you out there to the wild, wild west and let you. And that's how you sell product because you know you get new people, new customers, new marketing. They actually share your posts.
Yeah, exactly. They really support their creators. That
They really support
So
their
nice,
creators.
so nice.
Okay, well, I feel like you kind of answered, but I'm going to ask anyway in case you wanted to add to. We wanted to know what's the most challenging part of doing business influencing the whole gig.
I think it's keeping up with yourself. Like that is probably the hardest part for me because we do work so in such a fast-paced way. And you know, we don't have a huge team. We don't always have a lot of our budget goes on product. It goes on getting inventory, but we don't have huge budgets for things like marketing, campaigns, all these things. Like it's just it just runs away with itself. So we never really get into it too much because it's just a never-ending process, isn't it? But I think it's the keeping up and trying to do things as high quality as possible because that's obviously what you want for your brand.
Yeah.
But then also doing it in a way that still is feasible for a small business because we still are a small business, and you know, like, yeah, we might have an amazing year one year, but who's to say next year, like when we launch that product, that
well,
we'll still
also
have
whenever
that
you're
budget
in a
there.
small business, any money you make, you probably invest a lot of it back into the
all
brand.
goes straight back in. It's
exactly.
like well, when we did the A Million Live, so many people were like, lend me £10. So I was like, listen, I've not even seen £10 of it.
It's already spent.
It's in my warehouse.
It's all there.
So that's the case of it. It's just it's a merry-go-round, isn't it? And I love it. It's amazing. It's fun. Every day's different. But yeah, I think it is constantly having to just show up and be the best version of yourself, especially when you've got to go on live and you might be feeling like you're shit and you've just got to be like, hi guys, please buy my blush.
Yeah.
That's a heavy part of it, you know, because you can't
so
ever
hard.
switch off. Yeah.
It really is, like, that's such a hard part about it.
Do you see a big difference between UK beauty, whether it's influencing customer versus US?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what is the difference?
Yeah,
I was like,
what's the difference?
UK beauty
Obviously
standard
the style
difference?
is different. The
Okay.
UK US style, I feel like it's chalk and cheese. You know, I feel like the style here is like, it's very like celebrity soft glam. You know?
Yeah.
I like how he's like celebrity talk down to us, and we're like,
yeah, you're like, yeah, okay.
So
I was like,
he's like, no, not you.
I was like, yeah.
No,
He's like, you guys are very UK.
give that.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, you're UK. Like drag queen style.
drag.
No, but yeah, I feel like the UK, I feel like a little bit more maybe rough around the edges in ways.
Yeah.
I always say a good way to describe the UK and the US, from my opinion, is New York is like the UK, LA is America. That's the best way to describe it. So
Yes,
it's a little bit more urban and fun and a bit more, there's less rules to things.
Edgy.
Yeah.
Edgy.
But I also think even like you said, like even in like the influencing world, like again, I used to be so like heavily infiltrated in like the beauty space over here, and obviously over the years things happened and whatever. But the UK is just not like that.
Yeah.
People are just not like that in the UK. It's just like there's really very rarely drama between beauty people in the UK.
That is true.
It's
I
just-
never, I was like, I
What
never.
y'all doing over there, honey? We're battling.
We're just chilling.
We're battling.
Minding our business.
Yeah.
But again, I also think as well, in the US, the influencers have become celebrities, and as a celebrity, you're so much more open to an opinion, and then but you're also in people's daily lives, so that's where I think the drama then even gets worse and worse and worse. But I don't think that's necessarily happened as heavily in the UK. There's still influencers and there's still traditional celebrities.
It's quite big. Like,
obviously some people transition, but I do still think there's a big separation between the two.
The lines are blurred here.
they're more blurry here.
Definitely,
100%.
definitely. Which is a great thing. I think it's amazing when you can transition to do something a bit more mainstream.
Yeah.
Because it just shows growth and again adapting, doesn't it? But I just think that doesn't happen as much in the UK. So I feel like, especially in the beauty space, I just think we're kind of just quite boring, really. We're just not as fun, not as much tea to smell.
I love UK glam.
I love UK glam.
Yeah, UK glam.
I love watching it. Like, I'm a huge fan. Her name is Jordan.
I was gonna say Jordan Lipscomb.
Jordan is like the UK baddie. Yeah.
I used to watch her on YouTube so long
me too.
ago.
Really, I did it. I discovered her on TikTok, and I'm not kidding you. Like,
she's a OG-ish
I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, she
YouTuber.
is pretty OG. She's like been doing it for maybe nearly 10 years now.
Yeah, on
and
YouTube.
She's so beautiful, and
she's so beautiful,
nice
and
as
she's
well.
talented, and
And
she's
her
just
makeup's
like,
always looked that
on
good,
point.
even back in the day on YouTube. It's insane.
She's always been great at makeup, but that is kind of like a UK glam.
That
but
is
to me,
the classic
but it's like
UK.
it's like so stunning. Like, I want that glam on me. Like,
Well,
I
hers
like
is
that.
literally
And I do feel like over
perfected.
the last few years though, like UK glam used to be like a big cut crease. It used to be like Rainbow
for
Eyes,
sure.
the P. Louise, the
Our
Stacey Marie.
2016, our
It used to be
2016
Mitchell, but now it's softened down a little bit. But
It has.
We're still
So
drag queens.
beautiful.
We're
Oh,
still drag
yes.
queens.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
It's still a pound
absolutely.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I live.
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
a full coverage glam too.
Of course, full coverage.
Tell us what you're doing when you're not working, not on live, not working on the brand influencing. What is Mitchell doing?
I'm probably getting drunk somewhere.
I love that so much for you.
I love having a drink. I love dancing. I love.
Do you go out? Do you have a club that you go to?
Yeah, I'll go anywhere. I'm happy as long as I've got like a margarita in my hand.
Then you're chilling.
That is my drink of
But
choice.
I also love just going on like weekends away to like Ibiza and stuff like that. So
so
that's
close.
so close to it for us. So I think that's like over the summer. I think I went to Ibiza like 6 times or something. But
Oh my God.
it's so
Bitch.
close. It's so close. It's a 2-hour flight.
Oh yeah, it's like
that's
Cabo.
Cabo.
Yeah, it's like Cabo.
exactly. It's like your Cabo. Yeah, I think I just like turning off from it all. And whether that's spending time with family or friends, most of the time it's me just getting drunk somewhere and dancing like a crazy person.
Good for you.
But yeah, I just think I'm the only young once, and I just think, you know, some people are like, oh my God, you go out every week. And I'm like, yeah, hello. I work my ass off.
Absolutely.
But
also, that's like a lot of people like are working during the week and then they go out during the weekend. Like that's literally like what like the cadence is. We have 2 days off for a reason.
Of course. And
I
think
want a third day off.
As a business, you become so secluded, don't you? Because through the week, that's just like all you have time to focus on.
Yeah.
So then that's my time to like actually just be me.
Absolutely.
Like, be with my friends, you know. So yeah, I love getting drunk.
I feel like that's something I've battled because I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about how influencers, business owners, people in general, that whenever they find ways of making a lot of money or being successful, they do it in an unsustainable way, as in a way that they can't keep up with. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we made $2 million this year, but like I work 365 and like I can't work 365 for the next 10 years. Exactly. So it's like having to rebuild.
It's the balance of it all, isn't it?
Oh, it's so hard.
I think that's sometimes the hardest part of any kind of growth journey in life is finding the balance of it. But I think I definitely don't have balance. I don't know who I'm
you were
kidding.
even explaining how you figured out doing lives, like just doing a huge 12 hours instead of it eating up the entire week.
Exactly. And now I actually have time to focus on things that are sometimes more important, and even like having a day off sometimes on a random Wednesday, like the balance it's definitely better than what it was, but
it'll hit differently because I have the same thing. Like sometimes I'm like, if I'm working on like Saturday, if I'm doing something on all Saturday, then I'm gonna take Tuesday off. Like, I'm gonna do like
you
something.
Claim your day back.
You have to claim it, or you have to like find ways to like get some of that personal time back.
Yeah, of course.
Because if not, you literally will just run yourself into the ground.
Also, don't you find that when it's you that is the boss or whatever it might be, like it's so good when you get to that point where you do say to yourself, right, okay, I am having that day off, because for so long I didn't have days off. I didn't want a day off because I was like, oh my God, this could all be gone tomorrow.
Like you finally get the ball rolling.
When the machine starts going a little bit, and you can start to kind of then claim back those moments and those times, and that's you have to do it. It's what life is not just about making money. Life is about making memories.
100.
That's I think the most that I'm very rich in memories.
That's very
more than
profound.
Money, you know, and that's like my main goal in life, you know.
Yeah.
Making memories always.
Yeah, we don't take our money with us.
Beautiful. What's something people would be surprised to know about you? We'll give you time to think about that one.
Laurie, what's something that people would be surprised to know about me? Be careful. I feel like people would be surprised at this because I'm quite like PG, and I'm obviously always on live just being like, oh my God, love you all, blah, blah, blah. But I love flirting. I love flirting. It's my favorite thing ever. And I'm so good at it. I'm so good at it. I love it.
God.
I love flirting. I would flirt with a wall. I've always loved flirting. I just think it's so fun. Even if you have no intention of actually like speaking to the person, it's just hilarious. I just love it. And especially when I've had a drink, I'm so good at flirting.
That is hilarious.
The aunt are the biggest flirt. It's ridiculous.
Everyone's like,
oh.
Wait, say it.
Say it.
Say it.
He has to say that.
No, I am going to say it. And people will probably think this is actually awful. Like, no, this is the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life. Okay.
Oh.
I'm so scared.
Basically, this guy on Instagram was like replying to my stories, and I was in Miami. And I just got home from Miami, and I was going through my DMs, blah, 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 because, you know, Miami, it was just a wild time.
He said, you know Miami.
Yeah, you know Miami.
We know Miami.
Anyway, so then I was going through my DMs, and this guy had like replied to loads of my stories, and I was like, oh my God, he's so fit. Like, fit is like hot.
Mm-hmm. I'm so scared.
Why am I doing this? Anyway. So anyway, yeah, I replied. It said something like, "Oh, I see you in Miami. We should meet up." And then I was like, "Oh my God, I've just got home. Like, oh my God, when I come back, we'll meet up." So then this carried on, like the conversation carried on, blah blah blah. Anyway, then he stopped speaking. I was obviously flirting. I was flirting with this guy, and he stopped replying to my story. And I was like, "That's so weird. You've just been like giving it out."
He was
and then I'd sent like a few like love heart eyes to his stories. Oh my God, this is terrifying. And then one day I got a message off him, and it said, "Hey, cuz."
Hey, cuz.
And his username was not his name. It was like a random name. So then I've clicked on his profile, and it was my cousin.
No!
So that's how much I like to flirt. I would
You
flirt with my
flirted
fucking
so much that you
with your
flirted with your
cousin.
cousin. Oh.
And I haven't seen this cousin for years. And
Right,
years and
right,
years.
right.
You didn't
right.
So
recognize
I didn't
him.
realize it was my cousin, obviously.
Oh.
He was a really good looking guy, like, but I did not realize this was my
Heart
cousin.
eyes.
Oh
Heart
my God.
eyes.
Like your first cousin or your second cousin?
I think it was my second.
Okay, there you go. I was
Oh,
like, is
you're
your
good.
first
I'm
or
just
your
kidding.
second?
I'm from
Message him.
Alabama. Don't listen to me.
This is what I need to say. No, but that is how much I like to flirt. I'm such a
Oh
flirt.
my
Yeah.
God, that's the greatest story
And you
ever.
were,
Oh my God.
and you were shocked, and you're like, I can't believe he's not responding.
No, I remember. I think was I in the car with you? I was in the
Why
car.
is that me? I was like,
And I just went, and then Laurie went, what's happened? What's happened? Because Laurie's Scottish. She was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I went, I can't even tell you. And she's like, Mitchell, tell me now. Tell me.
it's not in that
So
way.
good.
She was like, Mitchell, what the hell's going on? Like, she's
So
panicking.
good.
I'm panicking.
That's
I was
so
like,
good.
I've just been flirting with my cousin. And she was like, what? And honestly, that was probably my pit of the 2025.
The whole your life, actually.
I wanted the ground to open up and never open ever
Oh
again.
my God.
Awful.
The
awful.
fact that you were literally upset that he wasn't responding to you and sending
I was
heart
like,
eyes.
this bastard, like,
This fucking.
don't lead me on.
What if you guys met up?
Don't.
You were still in Miami.
I'm so glad I only saw the message when I got home.
Oh my God.
Oh, no, I'm not even going now. I can't think about this one.
You see, this is why I asked that question.
Yeah. It's
You
a good
never
question
know
to
what
ask.
you're
It's like,
gonna
you never
get.
know.
You just never know.
never know.
I'm sure there's other things as well.
Did
but
your cousin did your cousin know the whole time, or did he figure it out? I was like, oh shit.
I don't know if he maybe just
Got
thought
it.
that I was just being nice.
Okay,
I hope that was the
okay.
case. Well, now
Yeah.
if he watches this, he's gonna know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, you sent him heart eyes, so it's
Yeah.
like.
Don't remind me.
Because was he sending flirty things first? Or was he just like literally
was just
responding like
like,
normal responses?
hey-
That's the guy. He thought he was flirting the whole time. He was like, I
Hey,
wasn't
dude,
flirting.
looking good, like just like a straight guy, just saying, hey, cuz, oh, you're looking great, like you
Yeah.
lost some weight, like that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh my God, he loves me, like he fancies me. It's my cousin. So yeah, that was a really low point of my
God.
life.
That's
And I
really
don't think
scary.
I'll ever come back.
That's
No,
the greatest
honestly.
story ever.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that story.
Yeah,
it's
I-
literally Mean Girls.
I'm obsessed with it because it's hilarious, but then I'm also so ashamed that I love flirting that much that I don't have a boundary. With,
Baby,
with
even the
that.
cousins aren't safe.
Yeah.
They're not safe.
Even the
But
cousins
again,
ain't
I
safe.
always relate everything to like a drag race moment. And do you remember that roast? It was when Jinx Monsoon was talking about Trinity the Tuck, and she was like, Trinity's so country. When she left her last boyfriend, she said, "Let's just be cousins." And
Jinx is such a good reader.
Jinx is insane.
You know Trinity's
Insane.
from Alabama, right?
Oh, is she?
Yes,
Oh, amazing.
yes.
And she
Trinity's
is
like
just
this.
so good.
And no, I've never dated, fucked, or liked my cousin.
That's a triple check.
I do have to clarify that.
That's one of us at least.
yeah, just one of us here.
No, it never went anywhere. I couldn't just put that out there. But yeah, I did flirt with my cousin. Anyway.
And it
moving on.
traumatized, and
You're
it
like, oh,
traumatized you. And as long as you were traumatized by it,
Oh
then
my
you're in
God.
the
Then
you're okay.
clear.
And it's
Then
a great
you're
story.
okay.
I was speechless for about 3 hours. I was just like, okay. And I was like, do I tell
That's-
people about this? Then I told her, and everyone was screaming because they know me
It's
so
so
well.
funny.
And they know how much I flirt. I would literally flirt with anyone. And they were like, Mitch,
Oh
this is
my
just, it's
God.
gone too far. I was like, I actually need to stop.
God,
But yeah.
Mitchell, that was good.
The flirting went
was
too
good.
far.
That was good.
I'm so
I can't believe I've just admitted that on full fucking coverage.
This is where you admit it. I
This
feel
is
like
where you admit
podcast.
it.
This is therapy.
Not on your page. You go do that somewhere else. Don't let that live on your
Yeah,
page.
exactly.
I'm like that's what podcasts are for. Like they're here to be like just shoot the shit.
Shoot the
We've
shit.
said embarrassing ass shit on here.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the most embarrassing
yeah.
stuff that
Oh,
we're
yeah.
like,
Did it
damn.
involve your cousin?
Nope.
No,
No.
no. But we're all ashamed of something.
No,
Let me tell
we're
you.
like, oh God,
Oh,
no,
no, God, you're sick.
No,
No, we're not freaks.
no, no.
No, that's
We're not
actually
like that.
really, really, really funny.
That's such a great story,
yeah,
though.
but yeah, that was. I think that's probably my main personality trait, just being a flirt.
As being a
Being
flirt.
a flirt.
Yeah,
I
it.
love
It's my
it.
favorite thing to do.
That's a
I
great.
love
I think
That
everyone
is.
should flirt. I think it's
I like
character
flirting. I'm a
building.
big flirt too.
Yeah.
I'm a huge
It's great
flirt.
to like figure out who you are and how you want to communicate with people.
Right. Who doesn't love a flirt?
I mean, I love a flirt.
I love a
as well.
flirt.
I'll be
Even if
flirting
one
at
day
the
when I'm
house.
married, like I'd still like to just flirt. Just
Absolutely.
it keeps you
Some
alive.
people are just flirty.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Sometimes
Naturally.
the intention isn't to like go home with the person. It's just to be like,
You need to
"Oh,
name
you're cute."
something flirt if you haven't already. Have you named something flirt for your brand?
Name something flirt. Ooh.
Have you named something flirt yet?
I actually don't think I have.
Let's
I think it's
let's
time.
get that
Okay,
going.
okay.
I think it's
I'll
time.
do
Flirty.
A shade, something.
Flirty.
Flirt.
Actually, no, I have.
Flirt.
I've got a lip palette coming out for Valentine's Day, and there's a shade in it called Flirt.
How
there you go. That's
perfect.
really
I just thought, and oh
How
my god,
perfect.
yeah, why do I know that? Yeah, it's called the Cupid case. 'Cause I
How
do loads of
Cupid case.
cases.
I was actually gonna ask you next. I was like, what is like coming up? Like, what do you like? Do you have any goals specifically, or things you have coming next that you're like really excited about? Like to close out the episode, like what is something that you're really excited about coming? Like,
I think for me, we pre-launched our foundation, concealer, and primer, and that was like amazing because as a brand, like that's like it's.
What's
Are
your
you able to do
price
that?
point? Out of curiosity.
16. It's 18 for the primer, 16 for the foundation,
Wow.
and 14 for the concealer.
I'm like-
Really good prices.
Yeah, it's a great price point, and it's a really great product for the price point
Yeah.
as well. And we pre-launched that. The response was insane. From the shade range, it's a 48 shade range. And for
Dang.
foundation,
Wow,
we've got
amazing.
18 shades of primer. We've got
18 shades of primer?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like it's a radiance primer, and it's like almost a bit of a gel texture. But you can use it for whatever you want to use it for. But that's just what Made by Mitchell is. And then how many shades of concealer? Is it like 32 or something like that?
Jeez.
So, but we did that all at once. So I'm excited for that to actually be launched alongside Boots in the UK, because that's when we'll go into stores, and
Boots.
that's when people will actually be able to go and shade match themselves. Because when we launched it, it was kind of like, I just was testing it. We had it, and I thought, do you know what? Let's just launch it for a little bit. Let's see people's thoughts. We'll do a really quick campaign for it. Launched it. The response was absolutely insane.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, right. Now I actually know if I need to add shades or take away shades or anything like that. So yeah, I think foundation, concealer, primer. But I'm so excited because we're going into our first USA retailer next year.
Shut up.
And it's going to be huge. And I feel like, again, for such a long time, I was over here so much. Pre-COVID, you know, I basically lived here. And I'm excited to like just gain a little bit of that back again as well, because even though I feel like LA has changed so much, I still have so much love for it. Like I feel like I
Absolutely.
grew
Yeah.
up here, like
Yeah.
in my career.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I did so many amazing things here. I've met the most amazing people over here. So I'm excited to connect again with the US. Really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Wow.
I love that.
This
That's
was
amazing.
the best. We loved having you.
Literally
This is just
amazing.
crazy. I can't believe I just told you that I flirted with my cousin. Anyway.
You're definitely on
know,
the way
we have
home.
that
I
guys.
gotta go now.
You know, we've been told we have the effect to get people to open up.
Yeah,
we do have that.
you
We do
do.
have that effect.
You know what?
Like you do.
Yeah, you know. When I leave, Laura's gonna like lock the door.
No.
Laura's driving away like.
No, but honestly, thank you so much. And it's again, I feel like over the years we probably could have like been friends earlier or whatever, but I just you've always been such inspirations to me.
Aw,
so this
thank
is so
you.
cool. Honestly,
Well, you inspire
so
me.
cool.
Literally, and
so.
so
we can all
And
inspire each
literally
other. And you know,
same.
I think like again, I feel like especially just viewing and being an outsider in not being from LA, not living here. I feel like even like your growth as human beings as well over the last few years is just like so amazing. Like I feel like you're so sure of who you are, and
Thank
it's
you.
that's inspiring to see as well. And I think it's so comforting to watch as well. You know,
Oh, thank you
Like,
so
it's-
much.
That's what I
it's
say.
really
You can see
beautiful.
that. Like that's so cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
really
just
great
incredible.
to
I just don't know
hear.
if people tell you that enough, but I know a lot of people think it, and I certainly think it. But yeah, thank you, and thank you for pioneering like guys in makeup. You know,
Oh,
like that
thank
wouldn't
you.
be a thing without you,
Absolutely.
mate. And you know,
Absolutely.
and if it was, it wouldn't be what it is today because you and obviously a few other people really spearheaded that. And you know, I wouldn't be probably where I am now if it wasn't
Yeah.
for that. And
Oh.
like, it's honestly, what the hell has just happened?
Well, I'm so glad. We honestly
I'm
we
like,
loved having you.
Yeah.
we've loved having you. It was,
Oh, thank
it
you
was
so much.
amazing. We really, really appreciate you coming and
Thank you for letting us pick your brain.
yeah,
Please pick
so
anytime.
exciting.
I'll let you know if I have any more embarrassing stories.
Yeah, please
I'm
do.
sure there'll be many
If
more,
you
but this
flirt with
week.
any more cousins, call us. We're like, we gotta
Please
get
call
it back on.
I love that.
No.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching.
And you guys will know where to find him. We will link Made by Mitchell. We'll link his socials, everything that he does down in the description box down below. So be sure and of course check him out.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
See you next week.